Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So today I'm feeling in a bit of a whimsical mood. I've got my hands on a latest food catalogue from one of our upmarket stores here in the UK. So I wanted to do a food themed art journal page, and seeing as we're talking about food, I thought it only fitting that I use my circle art journal. So I'm using one of the pages from my large circle journal. So I've gone through my collection of digi stuff and I've found the perfect bits and pieces to create an art journal page. So I'm going to switch to my overhead camera and show you what I'm going to do. So this is the food catalogue, and I'm going to just pull out some pages at random and tear out and stick down some of the images into the background of my art journal page using matte medium. So it's either going to be Mod Podge like so, or it's going to be something else very, very similar. I'm trying to use matte because I don't particularly want a shine on it. So I'm just going to quickly go through and pull out some random images, like I said, tear them up and then stick them down. So what I'll do is I'll put that bit on fast forward so as not to bore you with the tearing out of the pages and the sticking down, and I'll put some music on so you can enjoy. I know if you've started to drool over the stuff that's in this catalogue like I already have, it has definitely made me hungry. Okay, so I've not stuck them down yet, but I'm just placing them down. I've also found in my digi collection this sheet of knives and forks and spoons, so cutlery and spoons, which I'm also going to tear up and put underneath here to create some more paper layers in the background as well. So now that I've got my platter, if you like, all stuck down and dried, I'm just going to trim off all the excess from around the outside. There we go. And now we can add a layer of gesso. Let's see if I can find my white gesso. Where's it gone? Oh, have I put it away? Tidied up. Yes. How inconsiderate of me to tidy up. And grab a baby wipe and then just very gently just reveal a little bit of that food coming in from underneath. That will do. Let's get it dry. So next I'm going to add a little bit of colour into the background. So I've got my yellow ochre. I'm going to put a little bit on there, grab a baby wipe, and then just start introducing some colour into the background. Maybe just a tad more. Still want to be able to see what's underneath, but just have it knocked back into that background a little bit. Add a little bit of texture using the creases of the baby wipe. That'll do for that. So let's get that dry. So next I'm going to add some lime green, or lime yellow if you like, which is a very yellowy green, and do the same thing. Okay, so next I'm going to bring in a stencil. Now this is a new stencil that I'll be releasing in September called Little Grey Cells. So this is a sneak peek preview. So as you can see, it's all lovely kind of organic-y shapes. And I've got some titanium white, and I have a couple of cosmetic sponges. And I'm just going to drop some of that white paint onto my craft mat and then start introducing some of this pattern into the page and break up some of that imagery underneath. It's a great stencil for backgrounds because you can pretty much cover a large area and just turn it round and it will kind of match up. So there's no real pattern. But it will, by its very nature, just blend in. So I can just turn that round and drop it there and carry on. This will help break up any kind of blocks. It'll just soften. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing, but this time introduce some darker colours now. I've got some terracotta. I'm just going to put it right over the top of the white, so I don't mind if it mixes a little bit. Got a clean cosmetic sponge, and without even cleaning the stencil, I'm just going to go straight back in with that darker colour. Almost building up a kind of camouflagey pattern. I'm layering it over the top of the white. So now all of those pictures of the food and that kind of stuff all start to fade a little bit more into the background. The beauty with this is you can go as dark or as light as you want by going over areas that you've already been. So by the time I get back over here, that probably will have dried, and I can make it a little bit darker just by going over again, like so. Creates a nice kind of abstracty pattern, almost like you're looking down on a plate of spaghetti. A bit more of that brown around here, a terracotta-ish clay colour. Cool. Lovely texture. Okay, let's get that dried. Okay, so the next step, I've got from my digi collection this set of cutlery and a spoon. Now, because there's nothing worse than sitting and watching somebody cutting something out, I pre-did this, but you can see I'll insert the clip just here of me just cutting out with a craft knife on my cutting mat. It did take a little bit of time to get it right, but it's one of those things that I think it's important just to show you. It's not just like magic that these things happen. So that's how I cut them out. So here they are, and I'm going to stick these down, just move that out of the way, with the Mod Podge onto my background now. And I've already washed the brush, if I can find it. It's dropped on the floor. There you go. So I'm going to try and get it into a kind of triangle pattern going from edge to edge, like so. So that's what I'm going to try and do with the Mod Podge. They have been printed using my laser printer, so there's no issues of the ink running. And of course, I've used acrylic paint on here, so there's going to be no smudging either. So, and I'm not all that bothered if I get a little bit, just a little bit of wrinklage. But there shouldn't be too much. So there's the fork, and now I'm going to put the spoon across like so, and then I can fit. Sorry, Mr. Bentley's on the chair next to me here, and he's just turned over and put his legs in the air. Obviously very comfy, aren't you? Hey. Oh. So that's going to be quite good there. So we'll get that Mod Podge across the top. I'll tell you what, I'll just stop and take a picture of Mr. Bentley, and then I'll show you it. There we go. That's on screen now. So he often lays like that. He's a very comfy boy. Right, so good coating of that Mod Podge over the top, and then we can fit the knife in right the way across in a nice kind of triangular pattern. There we go. Because I've not put the holes in the page yet, I can now decide which way around I want it to go. Theoretically, I suppose I should have put the handle there and the fork there, so it followed up, but never mind. It's too late now. Okay, so now that's down. I've now got my little quote for my page. which I'm going to start adding in here. And again, printed off using my laser jet, so I can add it quite haphazardly inside. I don't even have to get it so it's spot on. I should have trimmed that down actually, but never mind. The glue not go underneath. Let's try again. There we go. Okay, just scrape that off. Give it a blast. So that is now all dry. So I have my food ball pen. It's just trying to get it in focus. It's focusing on this, so that's why you probably can't read it. Probably that's a food ball pen. And I'm going to create, or just go around doing a doodly border. Just to introduce that black from the writing and the actual cutlery into the design of the page. So it's just a squiggly, wiggly border. And I'll go over a couple of times. It doesn't matter how many times you go over. Once you've got your border all the way around, we can then whoops. Oh, that was a bit of a mistake. But there you go. These things happen. Now, if I hadn't have gone over all that with the Mod Podge, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect because nothing else is. Again, slip up the finger. Might not have got as much of the Mod Podge on there as I did with the other bit. Doesn't matter. There's no fun in perfection. Where have we had that before? Cool. And then we have, what date is it today? No. Typical. Is it the 8th today? It is the 8th today. There you go. Number 8. Ink pad. Date stamp. 8th of August 2017. And then I'm just going to sign it up there. There we go. And that's what happens when you get in a bit of a whimsical mood and you just go with the flow. So there you go. A bit quirky, a bit off the wall, but that's what art journaling's all about. It's about going with the flow. It's about doing stuff which pops into your head. It's about doing the unusual and the out of the ordinary. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with all your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you spoon, and I hope you have a nice day.